All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again and bringing you another video. It's been about 3 weeks since my last upload. I apologize about that. That's on me. I will do better at uploading these videos weekly at least, okay? So let's get right into this. There's a couple things we need to talk about. We're going to go over a trade review because I had an absolutely killer week last week. All right, went 3-0, closed the last trade on Monday, went 4-0. So I really can't complain. So I want to take one trade review out of them, talk to you about it, maybe talk to you a little bit about price action using supply and demand, because I know a lot of you guys following my channel trade using maybe the supply and demand methodology. All right, so we got lots to cover, so let's get straight into this. First things first, I did do a interview again with one of my friends called Guerrilla Forex Community. I was supposed to make a video on this literally about 3 weeks ago. Completely forgot, so then this is my next video. I'm talking about it now. So it'd be nice if you guys went and checked out one of the videos that interest you. They're about 5 minutes long each. We talk about kind of journaling and sharpening your edge, how casinos make money, and how you can make money trading like a casino using probabilities, and then also a little something about how you're a millionaire in Thailand, but you might not be a millionaire in North America, but you're a millionaire in most other countries. And everybody seems to they all want to be a millionaire, but truth is you're already a millionaire in most countries, right? So it's kind of a little 5 minute thing we talk about. So let's get straight into this. Let's go into Twitter and talk about a trade review I posted. Those videos will be posted down below, by the way. I'll put into the description or in the comments below. So it'd be cool if you guys checked out one or two of the videos. Help out grow his channel. He just started, so that'd be appreciated. Thank you. Let's see. Pound USD. Yes, this is one I posted. We talked about prices are coming up into a daily supply zone. Well, let's look right here to the left, actually. The reason why I would be wanting to sell this thing is because we had a huge amount of drop. That's a huge amount of sellers coming into the market. We're breaking upward momentum. We're removing pockets of demand. So that's telling me, okay, there's an area of sellers up here that outweigh the buyers. So the next time prices come back up into this area of supply, I want to be a seller. So that's exactly what we did. We took the pullback rate up here and we got out at a 2-to-1. I know some people that got out at a 5-to-1 because this thing continued on to drop. I was in and out at 2-to-1. I held it over the weekend. And the main reason why I wanted to sell this thing was because here on my bigger picture, I noticed that the trend was sideways on my daily time frame, and we are also coming up into a daily supply zone, right? I talk about this in a lot of my tips videos, talking about supply and demand, and also the free little mini course that I offer too on my website, talking about the supply and demand methodology. So the reason why I would want to be selling here is because if you look here at the right picture, it's my daily time frame. I can see last time here at this supply zone, these strong drops are telling me that, hey, there is a lot of sellers in this area, right? So next time when prices do come back up into this area, I want to be a seller, right? So I noticed that prices were coming back up again into that daily supply zone. So I want to be a seller and not a buyer, right? So I went over to my 1 hour time frame, and usually we talk about how trends typically turn from inside out. That's meaning 5 minute time frame is going to show evidence of price starting to turn before the 1 hour or whatever. It's like if you were to put up an EMA, I don't know, a 200 EMA, let's say, a moving average of 200, you put it on the 5 minute and the 1 hour. Which one do you think is going to turn first? If they're both pointing up, is the 5 minute going to turn first or the 1 hour, right? Most likely it has to be the 5 minute, right? There's a lot less candlesticks um, than the 1 hour, so it takes less time for that 200 EMA to cross. So that's the exact same thing, kind of talking about how price typically turns from inside out. The smaller time frames are going to turn first. So that's what we saw here on the 1 hour. Buyers getting removed, trend lines being broken. So I want to be a seller up in this area. So that's exactly what we did. Okay. So that's a little trade review. I also want to talk to you guys about maybe some price action stuff and maybe something that's going to be on my watch list right now, because today is Tuesday. We're going into the Wednesday trading session. And let's see, there's a good, actually, really quick. I found this quite funny because it's been a while since I uploaded my last video. All the riots were going on, all the racism, calling people racist for just not taking their side of an argument. So I thought I'd throw a little joke in this as well. And I said, Is it racist for traders to use white candlesticks as bullish moves and black candlesticks as bearish moves? And I went on to say this is some serious trading decisions we all have to make in our lives right now. Thoughts? Hashtag candlestick colors matter. So I got a little chuckle from that one. But let's go on and see dollar. So since we're already on dollar, let's talk about kind of price action for a second. Now, when I see this chart, if we back up maybe about about a month ago, I would say, we were talking about how prices were in this range. Demand, supply. So what were we doing? We were buying low, selling high. If you remember, if you've been following my channel for a while, this is when I think I shorted that New Zealand yen trade is when we were in that daily range or 4-hour range about 2 months ago. And I sold it on like the 1-hour time frame. So here we were buying down here, selling up here, but then what did prices do? Eventually it broke, right? It broke down. We had drop base, drop base, drop base, drop base, drop. We had basically 4 drop base drops in a row. And when we see that as 4 in a row, I personally consider the market overextended, right? It's been dropping for about 20 days straight. It's bound to have a rebound, and buyers are soon to step in and sellers are going to get exhausted, right? Prices just fell all the way from up here to all the way down here. It's hard to keep prices continually dropping and finding people who are willing to basically sell and buy to those traders, right? It's the same thing with this strong move here. Prices went up for what? 10 days straight. Sooner or later, it has to make a small correction, right? Same thing here. It dropped for like 10 days straight. Sooner or later, it had to correct, right? So here we considered one of those things happening, overextension, right? We saw buyers start to step in. We saw sellers starting to take profit, get out. So we knew that this was an area of demand that was somewhat stepping in because sellers are now exhausted, and this is a price where buyers are going to see value at, okay? This is how I personally see the market. If you see it something else, by all means, you can see it something else, right? There's not just one strategy. So let's go here. Where is this? I got it. So here we had the daily drop-based rally demand zone. It's been tested once, right? What did prices do? It rallied up, came back down, touched it again for the second time. It went a little bit deeper in because now it's tested. So if you had to assume, say there was 10,000 buy orders down here, prices came in, touched it once, took off. If prices come back into it again, do you think there's still going to be 10,000 buy orders, or do you think there's going to be less? There's probably going to be less, right? Prices have came down and touched it once, so those unfilled buy orders that we're assuming that they're unfilled have now been filled. So prices are likely to go deeper down into it. So maybe there's 8,000 left. So prices come down, takes about 5,000 buy orders. Now there's what? 3,000 left overall. Prices rally up and now go deeper into it for the third time. Deeper into it, right? Prices come down, they touch it, it rallies up, and now it's gone deeper into it again. So you see how buyers are trying to take control, but it really can't. Prices have came down to this demand zone once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, right? So if we're going to be buying this thing, we definitely need to see a significant amount of buyers stepping in, telling me, okay, there actually is a significant amount of buyers here, because at the first time, that's great. You could get long there or there and there, right? But now what has price been doing? It's been going deeper and deeper and deeper into this zone. Sellers are still holding this market down, right? Yes, we are at an area where, buyers exceed sellers, but they haven't really taken it in full control yet. So prices might just go lower down into it. There's probably a 4-hour drop-based rally demand zone down there. So let's see. So there's that 4-hour demand zone like that. I would mark it out like that. So that's where buyers are stepping in down here. Tested once, rallied out, came down, deeper into it now, right? So yes, we might get a small move like this. This is when I see a lot of supply and demand traders trying to like draw zones like this, and they say, oh, it's going to shoot up to 20 to 1, right? No. if we can assume that prices touched this once, rallied up, came deeper down into it, rallied up, went deeper down into that zone again, didn't make the bigger move, and then went deeper down into it, what makes you think that now prices are going to shoot up? It could. I'm not going to take that away. It could. But more than likely, that's what I would assume or predict of what might happen out of this bullish move before sellers at least somewhat come back in. Because if we kind of overall take a picture at this, that's what I'm seeing. I'm kind of seeing this downward momentum. Sellers are somewhat stepping in up here, okay? So I could see, yes, a possible small buy here, but you don't have much profit margin. It's kind of like, was it like this one? Yeah, it's kind of like this one. Here on USD Singapore, we kind of have buyers stepping in down there, sellers stepping in up here, kind of in this sideways range. This is what we've been talking about in the private group. But here we can kind of see, this kind of downward trend lines happening, this channel, you might say. So buyers will be stepping in down here, but once you come up into this area of supply, you can see this area of supply up there, you're coming up to the top. This is probably an area where sellers are at least going to try to take control. So it's a good idea to be taking profit if somebody got long down here, right? So maybe there was like an opportunity. Maybe we go down to the 15-minute. Funny enough, that was actually one of the trades I was looking at. I pulled my order from this. I feel like an idiot, but I think we talk about it. Let's see. My watch list. Yeah, I canceled my order right here. USD Singapore. Price in sideways range. 4-hour time frame evidence of the 15-minute. Yeah. Canceled my order. So I canceled my order down here. So now I look like an idiot. But you know what? That happens, right? I didn't want to get into it anymore. Pulled my order. But I hope some people managed to catch it. So that's basically it. Let's see. Canadian, if I had to play this Canadian chart right now, which I would be like looking at scalping this thing, these are the supply zones that I would be using at looking at selling this thing. And I'm sure you're going to have buyers stepping in down here. So as of the second, I wouldn't even be wanting to trade this thing. I need to see prices come up into here or come down into here. I just don't simply buy or sell outside of supply or demand zones, right? If we have to see one more, let's pick a random chart, CAD yen. Let's go daily time frame. To be honest, I don't see anything on the daily time frame. And this is what I tell the private group. I always say, you know what, if you turn to a certain time frame or any chart and you don't see anything, don't force yourself to continue to look at it. Because if you continue to look at the chart, you're eventually just going to force yourself to see. The chart's going to tell you what you want to see over time. So in this chance, I personally wouldn't want to be trading it. I would just go next chart, skip, and go to the next one, right? I'm trying to find high probability based trades. And that's kind of what I want to make a video on. I want to make a video on like psychology, kind of like 6 different topics. It would be like an hour long, maybe 45 minutes, talking about, trading like a casino, you know, fear-based trading versus greed-based trading, how to overcome things. I get a lot of questions talking about psychology, right? So I've had a lot of practice kind of talking about it. So I could give my input on it. I try to give an open mind insight on it, take my opinion or leave it. It's totally fine. So I would look to do a video on that maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks. I mentioned it last year. It's one of the things I really want to do, and I think I'm going to get around to doing it over this next month. Besides that, I'm going to let you guys go with that. If you guys are interested in learning more about the supply and demand methodology, you can hit up the moneyballtrading.com. You can go through the free little mini master course I have for you. Okay, so I'll link it down below as well. You could just register for the free masterclass, and you want to become a trader, and then boom, send you to it. You have direct access. Right after that, you get the email of the locking codes. All right, I've had a lot of reviews off of it from you guys so far. You guys are loving it. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna let you guys go with that. Make sure you check out that Guerrilla podcast thing that I'm gonna send you guys after this down in the description. Okay. Besides that, have a great week. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. It's good to hear from you guys. I appreciate everybody watching this, leaving a like, subscribe, and all that. All right. Besides that, Have a great week. Cheers. Thank you so much. Bye bye.